What's up, team? So good to see you as always. So I've got this subject in my head, which is a really interesting part of psychology, and it may help you if you're either starting out a career, you've just finished your GCSEs and you want to get out into the working world, or also I'm going to use a scenario within the training industry. If you're someone who's been struggling to get to that next level, or you get to a certain point and you've tried it loads and loads of times, but you still seem to just fall off the wagon just at that last point and you can't figure out as to why. So I'm going to try and explain it in the best way I possibly can, which means I'm going to use pens, I'm going to use paper, I'm going to use loads of horrendously bad drawings, I'm sure. But sit down and let's get interested. Let's get interested. So I've got my trusty whiteboard, and hopefully I don't start drawing ridiculously inappropriate things, because I do tend to. As soon as I get a pen and a piece of paper, I start drawing stupid little pictures all the time. So one of the things we're going to look at today, or the main point of this whole video, is it all comes back to this picture, which you may have seen a million times with a really quality quote, something like, "The key to success lies just beyond your comfort zone," which is very true, very true. So this is your comfort zone, and this is your success, whether it be training or in life or financially or work, whatever it may well be. But remember, we're going to look at two scenarios today. But the point exactly where I want to work on today is this point. This bridging point, which now looks like a baked potato, meant to do that. This point between being in your comfort zone, so just starting out, or doing well but not being able to get to the next stage, and then just being an elite and being very happy and within yourself. Because it's very easy for people like me or John or someone else to say to you, you have to keep positive, you have to keep pushing, just keep working and it will happen, blah, blah, blah. That's brilliant. But if that's not working, that's not quite good enough, is it? So this is the area specifically. This grey area is what I really want to work on today. And specifically, do you know what I want to call that grey area? And I'm going to name it. It's fear. Fear is the single most important feeling that we possess as a human being, as a species, in my opinion. Fear can also be a great thing as well as a very negative thing in your life. So you've got to remember to balance it correctly and use it as much as you possibly can to your advantage. So we'll draw this little picture again. And from now on, if you ever draw this picture yourself, I want you to label it as comfort zone, success, and then this grey area in the middle is fear. So let me just explain a little bit deeper than that. I'm not going to get too deep. So we see in the gym, we see someone in their comfort zone who's just starting, who's not quite happy with their body, and they want to get somewhere else, which is they want to be here, where this person's flexing their guns and just generally laughing and all the rest of it. This person, to me, and it should be to you, is just as inspiring as this person here. The difference is this person here is not very happy with where they're at, and they're not very happy to talk about where they're at. Whereas this person likes to brag and is really happy, and they're successful, therefore their success stands before them. Everyone can see their results, which is absolutely brilliant. But how does this person get from here to here without getting stuck in this part and coming back round and ending up back here? Because we don't ever see that in society. So with training, we'll only ever see the client who's just starting, and then we see the person at the top. And all that person ever normally tends to say is, you just got to keep pushing, consistency, work hard, and you'll look like me. That's absolutely great, because with some people, that will work. Guaranteed that will work with some people. But what this person doesn't tell you is that it's really hard, and they have to cross this area of fear, which basically means many different things. They have to deal with the fact that their friends are going to look at them differently. They have to deal with the fact that they have to step outside their comfort zone in a way that makes them feel really vulnerable. So you always see the people who are training, they look fantastic, they tend to be the most insecure, because they're at a point where they're having to judge their body so much, and other people are judging the way they look, and it takes a lot of adjustment. So at this point in the middle, a lot of people are very vulnerable, and as soon as they get beyond that point and they've succeeded and they're really happy, they don't want to talk about that anymore because they're feeling awesome. But it's really important to understand that it is okay to feel vulnerable, it is okay to feel scared, and it is really important to feel scared sometimes to actually push forward. So fear comes in many forms. When you're between the starting phase and the success with your training, fear is never only just, I'm scared of the gym, I'm scared to wear a t-shirt or a vest. It can come from a social group. You know, you've got a load of friends over here that all look like stick men. This person is a little bit wonkier, and you know, we've all got our friends, everyone's smiling, and everybody, when you start to do freaking awesome and you start to get into where you want to go, everyone's kind of like, oh, what a hero. You know, you're doing great things, you're disco dancing, you're high kicking. You know, he's got a bit of a quiff, got some new hair, he may have tattooed his eyebrows on. You know, he's starting to excel. Things are going really well for this person who's training. Your social group, 9 times out of 10, will be a lot more positive towards it, and well done, encouragement. This positivity wears off on them, which is brilliant. But also, this same social group can be the same people that are reflecting negative insecurities of theirs below onto this person. So, you're doing great, you're a legend, well done, amazing, keep up the good work. But then they can also, when you're not realising, be turning around and going, oh, he's so up himself now. Oh, you're always talking about the gym, blah, blah, blah. And it can be little negative buzzwords like that, which will stop maybe another person in this social group, or you in this scenario, ever giving this a go and stepping outside your comfort zone, because you know for as long as your friends are being positive towards you and encouraging, they're also going to throw these negative buzzwords. And quite simply, as human beings, as a species, we like to conform. We like to feel loved. That's one of the worst hearts I've ever drawn. We all, as friends, we all want to be in this circle of harmony where everybody gets along and has a laugh and feels, quite simply, comfortable, right? And that's absolutely fine. But actually, it's really, really important to do what makes you happy as well as what makes your friends happy, because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You've got to be happy within yourself, your future, your training, your own skin. And your friends might not like certain things that you do in your life, but over time, they will respect it. Trust me. So I hope this is somehow making some sort of sense. So you're someone who goes to the gym, you're doing a great thing, things are working out for you, you're about here at the moment, right? And that's the furthest you've ever got. I don't want you to move backwards, I want you to push forwards. So in summary, the most important thing for you to push forwards to that point to get to your end goal is to remember that fear is part of it. Feeling vulnerable is part of it, but ultimately the most important thing for you to be consistent with is being yourself and be confident. Allow yourself to set the goals, allow yourself and visualize yourself as that person. Keep pushing forward to that point with your training, because if you focus on this area and allow yourself to stay in that area of fear for too long, it will consume you, and I swear to you, it will drag you back to your comfort zone, because this comfort zone is all stars and moons and stripes and lots of smiles and all the rest of it. But all of this stuff, a lot of the time inside your comfort zone, is just an illusion. It's just cover-ups. It's the answer you give when someone asks you, are you all right? And you feel crap and you go, yeah, I'm fine. That's in your comfort zone. Because when you're having a crap day, you should be confident enough and you should feel confident enough to turn around and go, look, I'm having a bit of a crap day today. I want to say it. But in your comfort zone, you won't. You will just want to keep everything nice and fluffy and happy. So it's really important to not dwell on fear. Use it in a positive way to push through your training, and it will push you to the next level and you will absolutely love it. So feed off fear, feed off that vulnerable feeling, and make sure you're visualizing yourself exactly where you want to be in your training. And trust me, it will happen. But more importantly, with training specifically, it's so normal to feel out of your depth. It's so normal to feel like you're not ever going to get there, or there's always someone in better shape, or in worse shape, or in the same shape, or progressing faster, or progressing slower. The second you start to worry about what everybody else is doing around you, you're in this whirlpool point, and you're going to drag yourself back. Don't worry about anyone else but yourself, because that's the most important when it comes to your training goals. So if you're starting out, set a clear point, and then focus on it. Visualize yourself as that person every day. But you need to remember that at some point between here and here, this old person has to completely go in order to become a new person. And that will be your hardest point, because your comfort zone, i.e. your friendship group, everybody that knows you, all your comforts, know you as that person. And it's really hard to let go of a person that's kind of done you quite well for quite a long time. But we always say the same, even with love. You can't fully love someone new until you let go of the old person. And that's exactly the same when you're making that transition from someone who looks well or wants to be healthier but isn't, and is healthier. That is a completely different and new version of yourself. So you have to fully allow yourself to let go of the old person in order to become somebody new. So I'm quickly going to have a look at work. So we're talking about, again, comfort zone, exactly the same, and success. So a scenario, you're a person who hates your job, right? You're stuck and you can't get out of your job, or you feel you can't get out of your job, or you're about to go into a career and you're not sure exactly what it is you want to do. I want you to take a couple of notes before you start to decide exactly what route you're going to go down, because you could save yourself a whole load of hassle 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line when you suddenly have that moment where you're like, I can't do this anymore. So, you hate your job. Why are the main reasons people say that they hate their job? Pay. The pay is absolutely crap, so I need to leave my job, right? The hours, crap hours. So I need to leave my job because I work too much. I hate all the hours, right? You're going to have to try and look on my level as much as you possibly can, because this is a little bit random. But, for instance, you're the person in your job right now which you hate. You are not happy by any means. And you want to be this red person over here, loving their job, buzzing with bigger eyes, nice eyebrows, and maybe a hat. I don't know. Some people like hats. So, in order to become that person, you need to work on one thing. And I know you might go, oh, same old, but it's positivity. Our bodies, internally, are so intelligent. There is so much more going on subconsciously that we could ever appreciate, right? And you will never understand it until you start putting positive vibes out into the world. So, for instance, you hate your job because of the pay. The pay is bad, right? And the hours are bad. These are what we classify as our reasons for having to leave a job. This is where it's going to get a little bit hard to understand. But if you're saying you want to leave your job, you need to leave your job, you're putting yourself in that position where your comfort zone, and you're about here at the moment, you're pushing yourself forward. You're in that area of fear, as we call it right now, between the two. Your reasons for leaving are bad, which is absolutely right. You hate your job. But if you use a negative buzzword or a negative saying or a negative phrase about the future, that's what your future will become. If you start using bad pay, I need to leave because of this. This is why I want a new job, because the pay's bad. I want a new job because the hours are bad. You almost turn it around in your body that leaving, in your body, you almost turn it around in your head that by leaving, you're going to introduce bad pay into your life. You're going to introduce bad hours into your life. So if you want to leave your job because of the pay, right? Try not to say, I need to leave because the pay is bad. That's very negative. It almost means by leaving, the pay is also going to be bad in another place. Say that you're going to leave because you're worth more, right? That is such a fantastically powerful thing to say. You know, leaving then becomes a positive. It's not a negative anymore. The pay's not bad. It's not crap money. It's you're worth more. You're projecting that positivity into the future of you leaving. You leaving is now a positive thing because you are worth more than that. So try not to look at your money as a negative reason, because if it's a negative buzzword, that negativity is going to be drawn into that potential new job, which strikes fear, which means you're back in the comfort zone once again. All right? Hopefully that made sense. And same can be said once again for your hours. So you want to leave because your hours are crap, right? That's a negative negative thing to use, and you're pushing that negativity into this potential new happy zone. So you're also instantly, you're going to go, the hours are crap, that's why I want to leave. But that will instantly make you think negatively about your hours in your future job, which will then bring you back to your comfort zone. So in order for you to actually push forward in a positive sense about picking your job or moving to a new job, instead of going, the hours are crap, turn around and go, I want more time for my family. Right? That's still a reason to leave the job that you're in, but it's a positive reason opposed to a purely negative. And if you follow that basic setup of having negative reasons for you leaving your job is absolutely fine, but if you look at them in a positive way, your outlook will be a lot more positive, and the outcome will also be a hell of a lot more positive than what it will be if you project negativity into your world, your own being, and your out there, your aura. Because negativity is not good for anyone. And if you're thinking about your future and you're already using negative words and phrases, they will creep into your future before you even get there, and they will drag you straight back to this point here. Which, again, a lot of people like to feel comfortable and tick along and do what they want to do, which is absolutely brilliant, as well as just conforming and making sure that they've got people around them that they may or may not trust, but they feel comfortable with. But the point I'm trying to make is that fear is part of everybody's life, whether it be in training, whether it be in the working world, financial, whatever it may well be. Fear is such a big thing, but managing fear is one of the most important things for you to do in your whole life. If you want to succeed in your training, you need to manage fear. You need to embrace it. You need to adapt to it. And if you want to succeed in your work, you just need to be positive. Push in positive words, push positive phrases out, project positivity into your future, and you will bring positivity back into your world. So I really, really hope this helps. I have no idea until I sit here and edit it. It made some sort of sense to me, but the hard thing is when you're working with clients on a psychological level, you're working on intuition, so reactions and body language, and you're getting feedback. But it's kind of hard to get a subject matter across without any sort of feedback. So I hope this really helped, guys. I really enjoyed it, and if you did, give me a big thumbs up, and I will be back soon. Love you all, and goodbye.